the church, particularly for people of color in this country, continues to be a vital place. And I believe that this is an important time of reset for us. I mean, we're still trying to figure our way and pivoting through this pandemic. But what I believe it's shown us is, number one, the amount of resiliency that we have, particularly within our faith communities. And number two, how flexible and innovative we can be. And so while there's still some very difficult hardships that have come from this, fortunately a number of us have lost a number of people in our faith communities, I still see the benefit and how impactful it can be to be forced to be innovative and have to pivot and do things in different ways.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you in terms of your framing it from the perspective of community and strength and resilience. I think that for me, an asset-based approach to development of our communities means that we have to frame and understand the value of our communities.
Mm.
Our communities are not simply deficits. We are not simply blighted areas. We are communities that have assets.
Mm.
And as you know from the Fishing Differently model, the assets include intangible assets like faith, intellectual capital, social capital, and human capital. But in fact, we also have what we traditionally think of as assets, and that is the real estate and the property that is affiliated with the church. And what has happened is that society in general has ignored the assets that exist in our communities. And so I'm going to back up for a second and talk about the intangible asset of faith. To me, faith means that there is hope. And hope, unlike optimism, really refers to the fact that we believe that we are able to make change. And it is out of that belief that we can make change that we have hope. And the other thing we need to realize, again, is the value of our communities. As Reverend Sidney Williams says often, we do social impact. That is what the churches have done. And so there's a need for us to connect what we traditionally think about in terms of our church community and our larger community with the terminology that perhaps people in the investment community look at. And so I think that when we're talking about asset-based social impact, we are talking about the fact that we are part of a community that is able to build wealth in the community. And by wealth, I mean better quality of life, as well as economic impact, making sure that our community is able to thrive and be engaged in full economic activity in every facet of their lives.